mount strike and an alarm lock PDK 3000. First thing that we're going to be doing is making sure that we are mounting the electric cover plate inside, where we're going to be able to drill here on this drywall. Make sure that there's no studs, make sure that there's no copper piping or wiring or electronics in the wall. You can do that by using a stud finder or one of those Wallabot, or there's a couple different ones that you can use that will give you an idea. Nothing is guaranteed, nothing is foolproof, but it'll give you an idea as to where things are. There's many different ways to drill one of these electronic cutouts out, and this is just one way. It's a little 12-volt Milwaukee saw. It's a little mini sawzall. Just go ahead and start the blade. You can plunge cut. I use the nice narrow teeth so that it cuts nice and slow. If it gets out of control, you can get it back into control quickly. So I just start by lining it up, getting a couple cuts, getting a scar, and then plunging the blade in like so. You can see that it provides a nice light, so you can see exactly what you're doing. Popping that out. There are several other methods. You can use little Dremel tools, routers, etc. And make sure that I'm switching over to a carbide tipped drill bit, 18-inch Bosch drill bit, and using a hammer drill to punch through the brick to the outside. Now I'm measuring about where I'm going to come through from the floor up and from the wall over, so that I do not hit the current ADA door operator button. So you can see that gives me an idea of where I'm going to pop out, and that popped out perfectly right next to that already installed ADA door operator. Cutting the hole in the drywall gave me just tips on this here. Is we found that we were just shy of reaching that with this 18-inch bit. So if we actually cut the hole out, like if we drilled from the other side in, it was kind of hard to find where the hole was. But if you measure up and then measure over, we kind of got a really good idea about where we're at. And so we didn't drill into the other the door operator button. And then this bit, just being able to sink the face of the chuck into that hole allowed us to pop out through the other side. I did buy some other bits. If you're going to be doing electronic access, getting an extension like this here with this hex head extension like so, that grabs the bit. It has to grab the bit. If it doesn't grab the bit, it's absolutely useless and you're going to lose bits. And then getting these hex shank bits like this, they'll get you through wood, drywall, anything but metal and concrete, and then your Bosch bits will get you through the metal and the concrete. Alrighty, so that gave me just the few extra inches needed to go ahead and plunge the face or the chuck of that drill in to actually come through and plunge through the other side. Now we're going to be setting the box. You can see there's two arms. There's an upper and a lower arm that go behind the drywall that are fully adjustable via the screw that mounts to that tab. This is going to go behind the drywall and on the top and the bottom, and then you tighten it up, and it puts that box in place and locks it where it needs to be. Making sure that you have a nice, clean, tight cut on those is going to be the difference between doing a professional job and having something that may not look so good afterwards. Outside, we're going to be mounting the PDK 3000. This is an alarm lock product. This is the alarm lock reader that I like to use. You can program it just like any of the other alarm lock series. You can program it through the keypad, or you can program it through computer software, which is very, very easy to use and very user-friendly. Right now, you're going to pull the bottom screw out, make sure that it's out. It should come not installed, and then the face will literally lift up and slide down, giving you the rear mounting panel. Once you have the rear mounting panel, I like to make sure that you have a nice big hole for all that wiring to go into when we go ahead and mount that. So that's why there's such a big hole there. We actually just use a larger carbide bit and make sure that we dig all that out. So there's a place for the wires to go into the brick as we mount the reader or credential reader and the PDK 3000 back onto the wall. Right now I'm using a 1/4-inch bit. I'm using the supplied plastic, the blue plastic threaded screw holders. Basically what will happen is they will fit into that 1/4 inch hole that you drill with your masonry bit, and you will be able to thread the screw in, and when you do that, it's going to make that plastic swell and expand and push it tight against the concrete brick. So it's not required that you mount concrete screws into this application. It allows you to mount it on metal or brick or wood or anything that will be sturdy enough to hold it. So